Hello NFL fans and welcome back to the Wall of NFL channel. In this video today, I'm going to be talking about preseason. Over the next 3 weekends now, a lot of teams are going to be facing off against each other for the first time in many months. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. Now, of course, it is only preseason, so none of the games really matter, but maybe they matter a little bit to some people. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what to look out for while you watch preseason. Preseason is all about helping coaches and general managers decide who's going to play for the team, who's going to start, and which players, unfortunately, they are going to have to cut before the season starts. For the players, it's important to help them warm up to the competitiveness of the NFL regular season because they have just had the last 7-8 months off. And for us as viewers, it's really important to watch because it's just a taste of the excitement that has been held from us over these last 7 months. I've been really missing the NFL, and now this is my chance to watch a few games and really just delve back into the NFL. Battles between positions are just one of two of my favourite things about preseason. This is basically what coaches use preseason for, is to see which player they want to start over another. I think quarterback battles are probably the most important, as the quarterback is the most important position. I think there are 4 quarterback battles that we should watch out for during this preseason. I think the first and most important being Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. And I think Teddy Bridgewater versus Drew Lock is also a really important one at the Broncos. I think that Justin Fields versus Andy Dalton versus Nick Foles at the Bears is really important. And I also think that Trey Lance versus Jimmy Garoppolo at the 49ers is also another really important one. I think the one I already said that I was looking out for the most is Taysom Hill versus Jameis Winston, as those two guys play for the Saints, which is my favourite team, and is also the one place where the coaches actually acknowledge that it is a quarterback competition. So it's going to be really interesting to see whether the gunslinger Jameis Winston wins that one, or Taysom Hill, the unconventional running quarterback, wins that one. I think the other most interesting one is Trey Lance versus Jimmy Garoppolo. As Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't know, there's something not quite right about him. He gets injured a lot, and the 49ers don't seem quite so sold on him. And Trey Lance is this guy that they traded 3 first-round picks for, all the way to go from 12th in the draft all the way to 3rd. And he's a big hot prospect as well. So I think that one is the other most important thing to watch. My other favourite thing to watch in preseason has got to be the rookies and checking out whether they can progress to the next level or not. I like watching the quarterbacks, especially this year, Lawrence and Wilson, Fields, Lance and Mills as well, who the Texans got, who is a bit of an under the radar person who I think might start for the Texans as Watson looks like he's out. I also looking forward to watching other rookies as well, not just the quarterback, like Parsons, the linebacker for the Cowboys, Adebo, the cornerback for the Saints, who it looks like is going to be starting for the Saints despite being drafted not in the first round, because the Saints haven't really been able to find another cornerback. I also think that Jamar Chase for the Bengals is another really exciting person or player that I'm going to be watching out for this preseason. So yeah, rookies, as they are new to each team, I think it really spices up each team, and that's kind of part of the excitement that the off-season brought. You know, the most important things about off-season is, of course, free agency and the draft, and it's those new players from the draft who are young and who are going to shape their franchise in the future. So I'm super looking forward to watching the rookies play. While this next one is not quite my favourite thing to watch about preseason, it's still something that definitely catches my attention. Old players who joined new teams this offseason. Like I mentioned before, free agency is a massive part of the offseason, and it creates a lot of excitement as old players like Matthew Stafford, for example, has gone from Detroit all the way to the Rams and is basically going to make the Rams now a Super Bowl contender. So I'm super excited to see what he can do, whilst even though Sean McVay has said he's not going to be taking any preseason snaps. That's just one example of some of the players that I want to see play. Carson Wentz as well, even though he got injured, he won't be playing in preseason, but I am super excited to see what he can do. Also, Kenny Galladay for the Giants, who is just one of their fantastic new weapons that the Giants got. So I'm looking forward to watching the Giants offense as well, see if they've gotten any better, and maybe these old players aren't so washed up and are still so great, and they can make a lot of difference on their new teams as well. If you don't want to watch a whole bunch of preseason games, I think the best time to turn each game on is in the first quarter. In the first quarter, that's when you're probably most likely to see some of the starters getting ready for the season, like Sam Darnold at the Panthers, which is super exciting as he just got there, and Tom Brady as well. He might be playing in the first quarter of a couple of the preseason games, and TJ Watt for the Steelers as well. He might get some snaps in the first quarter. So really, that's the time you're going to want to turn it on if you're not really interested in those fringe players that might get cut towards the start of the regular season. However, there are some coaches though, like Sean McVay, that don't let any of their players play in the preseason. So you won't be seeing Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald, or Jalen Ramsey. And so that might not be one of the games you want to switch on, even for the first quarter. Preseason is probably most important, not for the coaches or GMs or you and I to watch, but is in fact for the fringe players that might not get a shot on being on a roster or on a team anywhere in the league, and this is their one chance to impress. This is pretty much their one opportunity where they could become an NFL pro player rather than having to work a regular job like probably you and I have to do. Austin Eckler is a really good example of a player that has in the past shown in that fourth preseason game that he is worth playing in the NFL. And since that one game in his rookie preseason, he's now been able to show that he can be a running back that a team like the Chargers can rely on, and now is a really important part of their offense, purely because he got to play in preseason, and he was able to show that he was definitely worth employing by an NFL team. So it's definitely really important for these guys, as it's their livelihoods. And whilst a lot of players like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, they don't have to worry about making the roster, but hundreds of players actually do have to worry about making the roster, and preseason is their time to turn it on and really show the GMs and coaches that they can. Thank you guys so much for watching this video on what I think you should look out for during the preseason games over the next few weeks. And please do comment below what you look out for in preseason games most, as it could be pretty interesting to see what everyone else looks out for. Please do comment below as well if there's any kind of videos you want me to make or any topics you'd like me to leave my opinion on. And please also follow the social media pages in the links in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.